in love. And I believe when this person said love, they mean within relationships. So I'll start off by saying why I think vulnerability is important. I believe when we are vulnerable, we are expressing our truest selves. I believe that expressing our truest selves allows us to attract match frequencies, meaning situations and people that are best for us. I believe that we live in a day and age of a lot of faking, a lot of facades, a lot of superficial standards, right? And in doing so, we attract people and think we love people that have no idea who we are. We have no idea who they are, and we fall in love on false pretenses. But when you're vulnerable about your strengths and weaknesses, you and this other person can appropriately choose if you are meant to be together. Also, you guys can move forward as a couple because, you know, whenever you unite with another person, there will be compromise and there will be growth because you're going from two whole things to one whole piece together, right? Two whole halves, I'm sorry, to one whole piece together. So I definitely think vulnerability in relationships is important. I want to say that although things might happen out of order, it is important to develop intimacy before you become sexually active with a person, because having sex gives you a sense of connectivity and intensity and lust that may feel like love, and because of that kind of addictive excitement rush, whatever you want to call that, sometimes we stay in these relationships that aren't healthy and are really toxic, not because we genuinely want to be there, but because we've mistaken something for love. Whereas with intimacy, you're just connecting with that person on different levels, and you're experiencing one another. You know, when you have an intimate relationship with someone and you love them through that or as a part of that, that's something that, bless you, will last a lifetime, right? As you guys grow. Whereas, people don't really do it. I mean, well, they might, but there will be stages throughout your relationship that you won't be, really focused on having sex, especially if you're both busy and productive people, or if someone has an injury, so if you need sex in order to feel connected or think you love someone, and may not be true love. Also, I want to say that from what I've observed about codependent relationships is and relationships in general, domestically violent relationships, unhealthy relationships, whatever you want to call it, right, is that people who have difficulty with being vulnerable tend to have low self-esteem. They tend to doubt that someone will love them for who they are, instead of what they do or what they have. And so they use that thing that they do or they have for leverage, to control the other person. And when people do that to each other within a relationship, it just gets really toxic. No one can acknowledge their flaws. No one can truly express how they feel. Therefore, there tends to not be any progress. And when someone does speak up and is vulnerable, it's rejected, and people are shamed for their perception or their reaction to their experience. And so it tends not to be a very compassionate environment. In fact, in those cases, oftentimes physical contact, such as sex, is used to create this false sense of love and connectivity, which may really be there, but both parties just aren't able to be vulnerable and mature enough to truly invest in that compassion and true love. That has to have vulnerability. It has to. You have to risk being rejected. You have to risk exposing your strengths just as much as your weaknesses, because some people are afraid to show their strengths, oddly enough, because that creates a lot of expectation. But you got to be courageous if you want true love in any relationship, whether it be romantic. I talked about that a lot because I think that's what the person was thinking about, but as well as friendships and everything else, co-workers, and we're not gonna talk about co-workers. No, not talking about professionalism, but You get the point. Hopefully this was helpful. If you're struggling with vulnerability, maybe comment below and I can make a video with like some tips on, you know, how to transition into being a more vulnerable person. And if you're overly vulnerable, maybe I can make a video on how to cut back and have some balance and keep some stuff for you. Let me know if that's something you're interested in. I'm more than willing to do so. With that, be encouraged. Okay, bye.